Street Wolves, what's poppin' with you, man? It's the JLEGEND EFFECT. As always, thank you for rocking with me. I appreciate everybody who's been commenting, everybody who's been listening. I do need y'all to put a few comments in the comment section. There's a lot of people who told me they haven't commented yet on the actual SoundCloud comment section because no one else comments there. But yet I get a whole lot of text messages and emails and phone calls from everybody telling me they enjoy what we got going on, and I definitely appreciate you taking out the time. I need you to subscribe, follow, especially for those who's always telling me, oh, I don't know when the new podcast is out. I want to listen to it. I want to listen to it. Well, if you subscribe and follow me on SoundCloud, we're going to be also on Mixcloud and soon on iTunes. So if you subscribe to any of those things, these are all free apps, then it'll automatically give you an alert when we got a new joint on. And I won't have to send you anything, or you wouldn't have to wait for me to be able to do that, because it would be almost impossible for me to keep up with everybody. I do tag a lot of people on social media, so then it's out there. You get the opportunity to listen to it. You know when it's out. But again, it's a lot easier if you just subscribe to it, and then you'll get the alerts there. And then you can also enjoy other people's music. You have, like, my brothers who've been up here on this podcast, the Third Siders, you have their music up there. You have Rand Christian, whose music we played on here. We have multiple guys whose music, I rock with. You can go on SoundCloud, follow us, follow them, see what's poppin', see what they got going. You'll get on new alerts for them too whenever they put something new. So let's get into the podcast, man. I want to actually say we did record a podcast on this topic about 2 days ago, but I didn't really like the audio, how everything came out. There was a few other things that went wrong there, so I felt the need to just redo this. But I do want to give a shout out to AJ Dunk, who was a part of it initially, was a part of the first time we recorded it. And I wanted his perspective because I'm a street dude, and he comes from a different kind of background. And I wanted you guys to hear his perspective on it. But again, I ain't like the audio, man. And schedule-wise, it's hard for he and I to get together and do it all over again. So I'll just do it on my own. Before we get into that, because we are basically going to talk about the whole Troy Ave situation. There's been a lot of people who's hollered at me and was wondering if I was going to talk about it on the podcast. And initially, I didn't want to. I really didn't want to speak about it for multiple reasons. But, people asking me, so I said, all right, why not? Let me do it, because I guess really what forced me into doing it, or made me, help me really decide to do it, was I got tired of seeing people's comments. And it's coming from people who ain't even about that, man. You don't know nothing about that. But, we'll get into that. We found out last night the huge loss and a series of losses we've been taking as far as celebrities. Muhammed Ali passed away. Rest in peace to him, champ. I'm a huge boxing fan, MMA fan, but boxing definitely. And our favorite fighters, especially mine, Mike Tyson, they all idolize Muhammad Ali for so many different things, whether it was the things he did in the ring, outside the ring. That man has touched a lot of hearts and has been a huge part of history, whether it just be boxing history, whether it just be sports history, whether it just be political history, however you want to put his name in there. Religious history, when it comes to himself being a Muslim. He just he's touched a lot of people. So I want to say rest in peace to him. He was battling Parkinson's disease for many years, and I'm not sure what he passed away and I'm not going to speculate either, but I'm just going to say, rest in peace, champ, and thank you for a lot of memories he's put out there for a lot of people. I got the opportunity to go back and watch a few of his fights before he passed away, way before he passed away, and was able to go back and enjoy his fights and have conversations with a lot of my OGs about him. Definitely one of the fastest hands, fastest feet, best boxer you ever seen, especially as a heavyweight. That's, wow. So rest in peace to him. my thing to people was when these celebrities pass, especially right now, you're dealing with the passing of Prince. And my thing to you people is that y'all sit here now and everything was about Prince for 3 days. Now everything's about to be about Ali for maybe, let's say, 5 days. I'm gonna give y'all the benefit of the doubt. But most y'all people don't even know what you talking about. You just going with the trend, the social media trending topic. That's what you running with. Because I challenge anybody to, without Google, if you weren't from that era, I don't know how many you can actually tell me more than one name or title of more than one of Prince album besides Purple Rain. You can't do it. I challenge you to do it without Google. It's not gonna happen though, and of course I gotta respect the people who've been watching it for years, but you're more than likely, if you're listening to this, there's a great chance you're not one of them. Stop it. Stop all the fake love, man. That shit corny. Love them for 3 days and you move on. Fuck out of here with all that. The same thing I feel is gonna happen with Ali, man. A lot of people just gonna be riding it for a few days, right? And it's just gonna be a social media thing for a few days, man. But rest in peace to him. I want to touch, before I get to the Troy Ave situation, I want to touch on something else, because in these last few days, it's been a huge uproar over the killing of this gorilla from the zoo in Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. And this is my problem. Of course, nobody wants to see an animal get harmed. It's senseless. The parents need to get slapped in their fucking mouth. There's really nothing else to talk about. Like, how are you in the zoo amongst all things and your child is just everywhere and ends up in the fucking gorilla pit? There are multiple people who were there who said that most of the time the mother was on the damn phone. Whether she was looking at her phone, probably on Facebook or something. You know how these bitches do, ain't got nothing else to do all day. So the kids are running around crazy while you all on social media talking shit about your imaginary haters. Nobody's hating on you, bitch. Whatever. So people are saying that she was on the phone most of the time, man, and I think that shit corny because, yeah, you gotta feel the gorilla died. A lot of people said they felt like the gorilla was trying to protect the little boy or whatever the case. There was a lot of people yelling and panicking. Well, anyway, they killed the gorilla. My problem with all that is it's been like non-stop people posting shit about gorillas, non-stop people having this conversation about all this, right? And it's just like such an outrage about it. But what I want to know is why is there no outrage from you people when we talk about what's going on in Chicago? Where's the same outrage when it comes to you people when we talking about what's going on in Detroit? Detroit is dying. Respect to those in Detroit, man. I'm not trying to disrespect you. But you have people, whole communities that are almost like ghost towns now. And you want to, your focus is on this gorilla? That's what's been covered. It's been covered like 24-hour news, all news, and everybody on social media, and everybody got an opinion. Okay, that's the point of social media, for everyone to be able to have an opinion. And I get that. And that's even what this podcast is. It's based on my opinions and my guest's opinion. But fuck out of here with all that shit. I wanna see y'all have that same uproar for Flint. What's popping in Flint? Where's that uproar? Cause that shit went on too for like a week. Y'all was hurt for about a week. After that, it's no longer a social media trending topic. So what else you be talking about now? We gotta move on to the new thing, right? Cause that's how y'all consume everything. That's how you consume media, as far as videos, as far as music. That's how y'all consume it. It's only alive for 1 or 2 days for y'all, and we move on to the next fucking thing. But that's real life though, man. We're talking about real life. What's going on in Detroit? What's going on, whether it be in the West Coast, even somewhere in the East Coast, when it comes to all the gang violence and all this shit. Ain't that more important than constantly talking about a fucking gorilla? And again, it was senseless what happened to the gorilla. It could have been prevented. I understand that. But let's move on with the shit and get back to the real topics. You got a motherfucker going for president who's out here. He's going to be the next Hitler. Do you understand that? But you want to talk about that? Come on, man. Come on. I just feel like there's a lot more to be talked about, man. more important things, man. And again, when I speak about Detroit and their financial situation and their city situation, I mean that with the utmost respect. I want to see you get help. I want to see that. I want to see the help in the inner cities in Chicago, man. That shit is crazy over there, right? It's amplified now because of social media, because that type of shit was popping here in New York and all that for years. But don't make it okay. I'm saying, how about we reach out to help them? How about we focus on that? Instead of the gorilla, all right, we got it. We understand. You love gorillas now. I fucking understand it. Let's move on, man. So as I discuss moving on, I have to do the same. And of course, man, well, let me give me a sip because I just pour me a nice glass of this Henny Privilege. I deserve it, nice and chilled. My first sip, I needed that because this topic here, everyone knows what's going on with the T.I. shooting. The shooting at T.I.'s concert, which turns out to have the biggest impact on Brooklyn's hip-hop artist, Troy Ave. Now, I can't say I'm a Troy Ave fan. I have heard a lot of his music that I did like, and there was some of his music I didn't like. And that's no disrespect to him, it's just the truth. Like, it's so many of other current artists I don't really like. Again, I've said this on this podcast plenty of times. I like the older hip-hop. I like a lot of underground guys now. But as far as the guys who are on like that, I listen to Joe Budden. Of course, I listen to my classics, all the old school rappers of my time. But as far as the more current rappers, the main guys I listen to is Mano and Uncle Murder. And mostly Mano because I feel like he speaks for the kind of person I am. That's me. That's in my area. Back in the day, Tupac, I felt, spoke for me. There was a point in time I felt Joe Budden spoke for me with some of the things he spoke about as far as what he went on internally with depression and things of this nature. But as far as what it is, as far as these streets and as far as the morals and principles, I'm a Mano kind of dude. So Troy Ave found himself in a situation where he bumped to, let's just say, because there's been a lot of speculation on who was involved, and I'm not about to get into all of that, but what it just boiled down to is the main story that comes out of all the people who was there was that Troy Ave came across somebody he's been disagreeing with in the entertainment world. From what is put out there by the police and by witnesses, Troy Ave swung on that particular person. At some point, there was a scuffle for a pistol, and you all seen the footage of later on, people start shooting and guys are telling them to shoot. And then Troy Ave ended up shooting back. You've seen the video. I'm going to say allegedly. Allegedly shooting back. We don't know. If we don't know if that's R. Kelly in that fucking video, we don't know if that was Troy Ave in that video. That's the way I'm looking at it. If you can't tell me 100% that was R. Kelly pissing on that little girl, and he could get away with it in the court saying that wasn't him, well, then that wasn't Troy Ave in that fucking footage. But whatever. That's, I don't want to step away from the point. There's been a lot of people turning around saying, yo, Troy Ave is stupid, Troy Ave is an idiot, or, he could have handled that a different way. He should have swallowed his pride. And I want to say rest in peace to the people who did lose their life in that situation, or the people who were victims, people who were hurt in that situation. And the bigger people who I feel for is the families. Because, and it took me a long time in my life to understand that, but when we go through a lot of shit like this, man, if you have people who genuinely give a fuck about you, friends and family, it hurts them a lot. Like a lot of our actions, they feel the impact of it later on. And I know that, unfortunately, I can say I know that firsthand. I know a lot of my actions in the street, me being a little fucking wild child, it contributes to my mother's health in a negative way. And I'm never going to forgive myself for that. But whatever. Again, back to the topic. I've been in Troy Ave's shoes a few times. And of course, I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and say things that's going to incriminate myself. I'm not doing that. But I will say, for you people who are saying he's seen that person, he should have just left it alone, and A, B, and C. Well, let's be real here. If he would have let that go, and you guys would have found out about it, Y'all all would have been killing him for that shit. Y'all would have been calling him a pussy. Y'all would have told him, oh, you don't want to listen to his music no more because now, according to y'all, he don't live what he's talking about. So he gonna get killed for that, but now he's getting killed now for doing what you expected of him. What you wanted him to do. He turned around and he did it, and now it's a problem with that. And my bigger issue is that I'm sitting here, of course, just like everybody else, I see it on social media, and I'm upset by a lot of you people, man, because I see a lot of y'all, and of course, I'm not going to go as far as to call people's name out, but I see a lot of y'all getting on social media and talking about what you could have, should have, or would have done. Get the fuck out my face with that. Because most of y'all would not throw a brick in a blackout. You wouldn't squash a grape in a motherfucking food fight. Stop with that shit. Because I'm telling you again from experience, from being in them situations. When it go down, my man. It's a blink of an eye. You make that decision right there as a man. As a man. I see you, man, you got a problem. Either you gonna handle your business or I'm gonna handle mine. Either you gonna set the example that I'm the nigga to try, or I'm gonna set the example that I ain't who the fuck you wanna try. But either way, it's a lose-lose situation. What I will say is, of course, not we, because I'm not there yet, but you move on into the entertainment industry or something like that, or to a profession. Well, matter of fact, I can throw that myself in there. I changed my life, thank God, because of my children. My children saved my life. So yeah, I'm supposed to be doing things to help me stay out the hood and all that, but the kind of dude I am and my morals and principles and how I was raised in these streets of East Harlem, it's not like that. That shit is embedded in me. Like, I had an altercation the other day. Again, I won't sit here and bad on myself. And I know, there was people who was like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. Okay, so I'm supposed to sit here and let this motherfucker disrespect me and constantly just be right there in my face, right? That's what you would prefer? Because you saying, oh, you left that lifestyle alone. You supposed to be living like this now. Don't fucking tell me how I'm supposed to be living. If you want to turn the other cheek, that's fine. I'm not here to judge any of y'all. But don't tell me to do that when you don't know what's going on. Don't tell Troy Ave to do that when you don't know what's going on. As far as I know, him and that particular person had that agreement. When we see each other, it's going to be something. So now, if he's there a few feet away from that person, how you think it's going down? Because if he would have sat there and just act like he ain't see him, y'all would have been killing this dude, man. Y'all would have been all type of everything. And then that would have been it. There would have been all kind of memes on the internet about him. Y'all would have been killing homie. Y'all would have been doing all of that, man. So now he handled his business. And of course, the end result was tragic. Again, rest in peace. And, again, man, sympathy to all the victims, man. But again, for those of y'all who's never been in that situation, don't talk about it like that. I seen a dude on there, man. I felt like calling him out. And the only reason why I ain't call him out is because I know what's going to happen. He going to say something slick on social media because he's comfortable at home behind a laptop or behind a cell phone. And he get to say something slick back to me until I bump into him. And then how you think that go? And for the people who know me, you know how that go. I bump into one of these clowns. Before I ever was on, listen, I only got on Facebook a few weeks ago. I started a Facebook, and that was to help promote this podcast, to be able to reach out to other people further about this podcast and about artists who I enjoy working with. Prior to that, I wasn't on Facebook, and there was an incident in the street that went down with me, and somebody went on Facebook and was talking about it. And I found out about it. And later on, when we seen each other, that didn't go good for him. Because he want to be a keyboard killer. Don't be a keyboard killer. Don't be none of that. Because you're not built like that. And at one point or another, you're going to have to stand next to what you said. And again, that goes back into the whole Troy Ave situation. Don't sit here and say all that, man. That man, you bump into him. What would you do? What would you do seriously? I'm not asking you to get on no social media and talk about it, because I've seen some of your dumbass fucking comments. Like I said, that dude that I was just talking about, like, I seen your comment, my nigga, and I'm saying, like, yo, I know you. I've seen you in a funny ass situation, and I seen what happened to you, and I seen that you didn't do anything, my man. So, like, how do you sit there now and jump behind Instagram or whatever and start going in? Oh, he a bitch because he should have did this. oh, yo, but he was stupid for that because it cost his man his life. Well, which one is it? You wanted him to be a gorilla at first. You wanted him to be a gangster at first, on the first half of your comment, but the second half of your comment, you saying he's stupid. Which one is it? And for all you up and coming hip hop artists, up and coming, you know, potential executives, guys who's looking to, who don't have the talent as far as creating music, but have the talent as far as pushing the music, pushing the artist, which I encourage. Like, get your money. But I want you to understand something, man. What seems to be the norm in this industry is everybody got your back till you make it. Then after that, they find little reasons to tear you down. So knowing that, I want to say, please ignore a lot of things that a lot of people say. If someone is in front of you looking to threaten you or bring harm to you, then by all means, I'll say handle your business. Because I'll be a hypocrite, you know, and act like you shouldn't, because that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? But there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have a lot to say. Whenever you put yourself in the public eye, people have opinions. Again, AJ wasn't able to be here for us to redo this podcast, but in the initial recording, we came into that whole conversation where AJ said, hey, you know, he told me, yo, but you will want people to comment on your podcast. So what if they start saying negative things? Well, get on my podcast, put in the comment box, say fuck you, Jay. Say, Jay, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You talking shit. Hey, I'm not gonna be mad to the point where when I see you, I gotta see you. Because once you start putting yourself in the public like that, whether it be social media, you talk about your personal fucking life, or you get on a podcast, you on a radio station, if you become a hip-hop artist, an R&B artist, a comedian, an actor, you're putting yourself out there for people to enjoy what it is you're doing. You got to take the flip side is when people have something negative to say about what you're doing. You got to accept that too. It's all part of the territory. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Now, as far as someone I know commenting and being disrespectful, or someone I know I'm going to bump into, that's a whole other subject. I can't tell you what I'm going to do until I'm there. Just like the Troy Ave situation. He could have told you today, well, excuse me, he could have told you the day before, yo, when I see this person, you know what, it ain't even going to go down like that. I'm going to try to handle it in a better way. But then bump into that person and the energy is different. That person's energy towards you, your energy towards them is different. The posture is different. Body language. Y'all go over there and go listen. Do me a favor. Go listen to Beanie Siegel's Feeling in the Air. And he says it. He breaks it down to you, man. And everything he's saying there, yo, the body language, all of that. Like, it'll tell you a lot. So I've been in that space also when I'm right there across somebody who I really don't like and they really don't fucking like me. And they cool on their side, I'm cool on my side for the sake of the situation, the location, or whatever it was that stopped it from going further. But then you get that flip side where you might come today and say, you know what, I'm not on it, man. I'm not on none, I'm chilling. I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm not going to let that get the best of me. But then that person don't allow that. Now they coming up to you on that rah-rah shit. Now they not going to let the situation lie as you were trying to do. What do you do then? So again, I want you to sit back and think, what would you have done in that situation? But I don't want to hear it. I don't want you to go on social media and fucking talk about it. I want you to really sit there and think about that. Yo, what would I have done in that situation? And when that happens, it's all in the blink of an eye. So you want to, people say, oh, you should have thought about your family. It don't always work like that. I've been in a situation where I was able at the moment to get a moment or two to think about my family, think about my kids, think about my brothers and such, my moms at the time. And certain situations, I was able to fall back. Certain situations that happen so fast, it's such in the blink of an eye, you don't get that opportunity. That opportunity comes and goes in a blink of an eye. There's no way you're thinking about that all in the time. You might think about it after the situation's over and you're walking off, or if you one of these bitch ass niggas out here talking and you ain't about nothing, when the ambulance is carting your stupid ass off, then you're able to think about it like, damn, that wasn't worth it. Damn, that shouldn't have went down like that. I've been the catalyst for why some of my friends have gotten hurt. Sometimes it's been me getting hurt, going out there and protecting them. But just know, like, it's not that simple. So please, before you start throwing your opinions out there, crushing people like that, please take the time to really think about what you're talking about. Take the time to really understand how the situation go, because it's deeper than all that. Y'all take the first thing y'all hear and just run with it, man. That's not how it go. Again, in the prior recording, I told the story on how there were friends of mine growing up. If they had an issue, I would go to someone else's block by myself and swing on that person. And it ain't always work in my favor, man. I've gotten jumped plenty of times. You know, even in jail, I've gotten jumped, man. Like, it's a lot that's happened. So yeah, I can speak from that situation. But in the story I told, you know, I was with a few friends of mine. We went to go visit a female. In certain areas you go to, guys from that area don't like it when you come and you deal with their females. So there was a little hatred situation going on. You know, they felt the way about my homeboy. Some words was exchanged. A fight started. You know, the dude was with some people. I was there. I was there with some other little clown ass nigga who didn't do nothing. And I understand now that I'm older, you know, he was shook because he knew he had to come back to that block. He lived on that block. So he didn't want to get involved. But it started off as a one-on-one. And as the other dudes, all his peoples came, when they realized I was only there, well, my homeboy was fighting. And I was only there with my homeboy, another dude, and two girls. They decided to try to jump us. Not try, they jumped us. And, you know, cool. We stood there. We rumbled with them, man. You know, shout out to my sis, Julie. She stood there and get it popping with us. You know what I'm saying? And when it's all said and done, it's like some people were like, oh, you guys seen that situation brewing. You should have walked off. Motherfucker, it wasn't that simple. We were walking off. We was leaving with the females. What are you talking about? We was leaving with the people we was with. Them dudes decided to come in and be aggressive towards us and come at us. What was we supposed to do? And then when they started fighting, I'm sitting there looking at him, then looking at them. Looking at him, looking to try to make sure none of them jumped in. As soon as they went from having 5 dudes with them to having 20 dudes with them, yeah, the energy changed. Now they said, nah, fuck that, we jumping y'all, and they did. You know what I'm saying? So what was I supposed to do in that situation? Now when I started catching them one by one, we was doing the same thing right back to them. And it was an ongoing thing. And there was so many people talking about, oh, you stupid for this. Oh, you should let that go. Motherfucker, they didn't let us go. What are you talking about? So I only say that to say, man, again, in that Troy Ave situation, you don't know. So please stop sitting there saying what you would do when you ain't never been in none of them sort of situations, man. There's a lot of dudes in jail, and there's a lot of dudes in coffins right now because of those blink of an eye, sudden moments. It's life altering. And of course, we want our people to do better. I want y'all to do better. I want me to do better. I got shit with me. I need to chill. It just don't, it's not that easy, man. It's easy to say what someone else should do. Hindsight is 20/20. It's easy for you to sit back and say what someone else should have done in those situations. I have a lot to work on within myself, man. It's not easy after leaving the streets to make that transition. I guess to turn the switch off and be that dude who's a lot calmer and easy and this and that, and you know, be what people expect you to be. It's really not that easy, and I hope one day I get to that point. You know, I'm slowly getting there, but just know, again, I'm speaking from experience. I've been in a lot of stuff, man. Whether it be fights and brawls, whether it be shootouts, whether it be jail, whether it be schools, jobs. I've been in all kind of altercations like that. So I feel like I can speak about it. And I'm asking y'all, if you ain't got nothing realistic to say, don't say, because at the same time, everything you're saying can also be affecting the families. The families could be paying attention to what it is you're putting out there. And it's having a negative effect on them also. So salute to the families, man. I know it's a hard time. God bless you. I hope things really work out for y'all. As far as Troy Ave situation, it's up in the air. You know, I know a lot of you dudes are alleged jailhouse lawyers. Motherfuckers been locked up 3 or 4 times for selling 2 nickel bags of weed, and now they can tell you how the fuck your case gonna go. Yeah, my nigga. Fuck out of here. So, I'm gonna end it right there, man. There's no point in me to keep going on and on about this. I said all I could say about it. Again, follow me on Facebook, J Legend Effect, Twitter, Instagram, J Legend 100. We're gonna start throwing some stuff up on YouTube. That'll be under the J Legend Effect. Also, um, Mixcloud, the J Legend Effect podcast. You know, holla at me, man. Follow us. I've seen a lot of my followers numbers go up on everything, and again, that's you guys. I appreciate it. Um, Also on Instagram and Facebook, you'll see a lot of little videos that I've been throwing up there, man. A lot of people have been enjoying the videos. Some people have been offended by it, and I really don't care. But you know, go on there, check us out on there, enjoy the videos, share the podcast, and that's all I can really ask for you. And thank all you guys who's been doing it. You know, there's a lot of you guys. It's hard for me to name everybody. There's a lot of people who's been sharing it, talking to other people about it. I had somebody email me. I don't even know who they are, and you know, they emailed me and just told me that they found out about the podcast through a friend of theirs who sent them a video that I had put on Facebook. Some Mother's Day joints that I did, and you know, that person was just happy that after they seen the videos, they listened to the podcast, and they came across a lot more laughs, and that's what it is. Like, I want to make you laugh, but everything ain't always gonna be comedy. You know, I want to talk about real things, but everything ain't gonna be serious. You know, I can't do it. Like, that's not the kind of person I am. So, you know, again, thank you for rocking with the Street Wolf, man. I need you all, man. Just remember, all these topics we're talking about can affect our children, can affect our futures. So, as always, when it comes to the Wolf Pack, man, being the family, Wolf Pack being the kids, Wolf Pack being your loved ones, family and friends, you got 3 jobs, man. Provide, protect, educate. On that note, we up out of here, man. Sick,